arch rivals Kolkata, Ahmedabad, ready for battle. This is the last league game before the knockouts. Kolkata in the orange and blue to your left, Ahmedabad on the right in the black. Here's the first statement, and it comes from the captain himself, the ace in the pack, Ashwal Rai.
Smart setting from Jamshad to get us underway. Goes to the outside when the pass is good, goes to the middle when the free ball is a little bit off the net. And it's going to be interesting, this outside battle this evening. I think that a lot of the ball is going to go through position 2 for the Thunderbolts, over the top of Nanda and Shantosh. But let's see what Jamshad does.
That's why I love when the middle gets going early, because we know it's going to be a heavy-hitting opposite battle, but get your middles in there early.
Okay, Rahul. The libero. Nicely set. Oh, was there a touch? No, there wasn't. The ball just curled away. Straight through zone 1 and it goes outside.
You know how I know this is a little bit nervy? There's no pressure on either of these two teams. They're through. We're deciding places 1 and 2. But the first touch from everyone is a little bit off at the moment. Both of the teams have passed off. That's a cagey swing as well from Shantosh.
I like the service pressure right off the bat from Kolkata, though. 2 times they've got this team out of system.
Muthu sets it for Angamuthu. Okay, they blocked him one. Vineet got a hand to it. Rahul will send it across to the other side. Straight to the libero. Now Muthu sets it. Pipe attack! Landed where he wanted it to. Nandagopal. Was it him?
That's a great swing. But I think that all started off with Cody put his hand up as well, because that wasn't a great set to the outside. Rahul had to send a free ball, and that's easy pickings anytime you get a free ball. Fernanda's able to come slicing through the pipe.
He does love going away from his body on that pipe, Nanda. I'd say he's at 80-90% through the pipe at the moment.
Well, that's just one way to deal with Ashwal Rai, if it's a one-man block.
Yeah, I would be looking to move him laterally as much as possible throughout this game and try and find the gaps in between him, work off him. If I'm Thunderbolts, I would be pretty happy with this start. Ahmedabad, maybe a little bit nervous. I don't want to chuck out the nervous remark too early.
Well, that's also just a great swing from Vinny. We know he's so capable of hitting that line, that cross court, but again, when he has that line open, he's going to go there all day long.
Serve, that shot set, well done, Manoj! There's so many stars. How many do we talk about? It's a galaxy of stars in action here. The best of the best.
Yeah, the first time Manoj gets a chance on the ball, and he does a great job of looking through. So he's basically up there with Ashwal, and he tries to swing on that ball early. It's a RuPay contactless shot, because look, the ball has barely left the setter's hands when he's getting there fast and high and swinging.
And Manoj has only scored 7 less points than Ashwal Rai in this competition, so he's having a superb competition, as well as Daniel Mutazadi.
Ashwal completely missed it. Wasn't deliberate. There was a touch, it doesn't matter, it landed inside. Another name comes to the fore. Kolkata looks switched on. It's a battle of pride as well. They don't want to lose to a team they beat in the finals last season.
Yeah, and a couple of times there, Ahmedabad had some opportunities, that overpass that Angamuthu didn't put away, but then that ball's not particularly hard driven, and they'll be the first to tell you, but 2 players just kind of looking at each other. Manoj not happy with Santosh.
Take a look at the bunch of players in the front court. All of them in front of the 3-meter line. I wonder why. Here we go. Good set. Now the defense opens up. It doesn't matter. Motazedi will keep going beneath. Soft touch. Muthu keeps in play. Motazedi. Boom. No. Cody. Jalshad. Pipe attack didn't work. The Ahmedabad defense was there on duty. Not tonight, Kolkata.
I mean, Daniel should have scored that point earlier, but it was an excellent bit of defense from Hadi Prasad. But in turn, if Daniel Mutazadi fires up this evening, the defenders have a real chance. And if he starts scoring early, well, he's going to get animated and fired up. Then we're in for a treat.
Yeah, and I'm having a second look at that, and I think that might have been a big chunk of net that Rahul got there. And then we got a question. Rahul came off with an injury last time. Is he fully fit to play?
Rahul. Cody. Oh, Angamuthu took forever to bend low and get a hand to it. He did get a hand all right, but just not good enough. 5-3 to Kolkata in the first set.
I love that about Cody Caldwell here, because it's not in a position where he can really kill it, so he has to make a great decision out of system. He knows the block's down, and his high percentage swing is to put Angamuthu on the floor. Perfect.
Game of chess on a volleyball court. Great move from Cody Caldwell. The only foreign player who's returned here after the first season. The others who've come have been absolutely sensational. Where did that land? Just inside. Oh! Super serve! The first from Kolkata. Bolt from the orange and blue.
What a serve! That was clinical on the line. I think Daniel had to crouch to get out of the way of that. Have a look. Oh man, that is absolute money.
And this is why, at times, I put my money on the Thunderbolts, because serving-wise, they are unstoppable when the ball is rolling.
Got to talk about that little evasive action to Daniel Montazeri tonight at dinner. That is, if he is there at dinner.
He's always at dinner.
Although for now, we're in for an absolute feast. Angamuthu tried something else. Cody's lining himself up, but the ball goes to Vineet. Usually gets it. Ricochets off that double block. Nanda and Daniel were there. It doesn't matter. It never matters to Vineet.
It doesn't matter. He has been superb so far. High off the block this time. And it's time for a more cool technical timeout. That means it's time for us to take a very short break.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Here is a look at the points table. This is what we're looking at. So Ahmedabad and Kolkata both already qualified, but the winner of this match will play the number 4 team, Bengaluru. The loser will play Calicut. So I hope, or I'm not sure if there's any sort of scheming going on down there as to who the teams want to play, but hey, Prime Volleyball VIP box is enjoying it nevertheless.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's not much of a turnaround till tomorrow for the team that wins it, Bengaluru. Well rested, but if they do win that one tomorrow against Bengaluru, whoever wins this, they will have a rest before the final. So there is a little bit of pros and cons. I think Bengaluru are in a perfect spot because they're rested until tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, they're rested again before the final. And Dealey said today, lots of time for scouting.
Yeah.
Not just rest, having a look around.
Yes, rest there is, but what about the restlessness before the knockouts? Oh, boom! Another vicious strike from Vineet Kumar, but that goes outside. Bobby, you teaser. Waits and waits. Gets the confirmation from the second referee and then says it's out.
Well, Vineet is pointing in. Will we see a challenge? I think we will. It's still pretty early, and that's not necessarily a game-changing swing, so I wonder why you would use that challenge right now when you're already 3 points ahead.
They must be very, very sure, would be my answer, to call it now. And they must know that they're going to retain it. Otherwise, well...
They'll retain it, but they'll still only get... So that ball is in, but they'll still only get 2 reviews total. So for me, I would be saving that until a critical moment. There's one thing I've learned about this league is that you really have to be miserly with those reviews.
I would always try and use them when I believe they're certainly in, giving as little the chance. But I do understand and I do respect your opinion, Keith.
Do you not think there might be more than 2 times when they're certain
Maybe.
the ball is in?
Usually.
And might it be in the
Usually.
5th set or the 4th set when it's really critical?
You guys are getting a bit too polite in the book.
You're wrong, Louis, you're wrong.
As
Is that
Manish
better?
says, you can't take them with you.
But we'll return to this discussion later on. The review is successful, so that was the right call by Vineet. Maybe he just wants to make sure he gets that point on the board for himself.
You know what that tells you about Vineet? He's got the eyes on the ball. He wants to speed through to the finish line. He doesn't take his eyes off after smacking it hard. Always eyes on the ball.
Yeah, and I think it's key that they keep working like this because confidence. Oh, it's a super serve! We're just talking about that man there, Kumar. He's taking matters into his own hands, and it's the second super serve of the opening set.
Did they write his name on the player of the match check already?
Maybe it's a bit tad too early, but that's a fantastic serve. He didn't put as much heat on his as we normally see from him, and in fact, Srikanth might be picking himself. We always say there's no ducking in volleyball, and especially because he's not a particularly tall man, so if he were a bit taller, I'd say, yeah, that's going over your shoulder, it's out, but could still land it.
Well, the semi-finals start tomorrow. Why would you want to be anywhere else? First place in the league play the Bengaluru Torpedoes tomorrow. Then on Saturday, it's the second place team against the Calicut Heroes. Coverage starting from 7 p.m. live here with us three from Kochi. What a dream. How much excitement is there going to be building up? How much excitement have we had over the past few weeks? I can't wait.
This league has been phenomenal. I can't remember the last time I've been on the edge of my seat so often as in this league. And that's just down to the format and the exciting points there are. Oh! Angamutu blocked! You do not say those words in succession very often. He's not looking in form today.
And you have to wonder, that no matter what's going on, confidence is so important at the back end of a season here. And if Ahmedabad get beaten badly, that's only going to spill over to the semi-final. There's going to be a ripple effect off the back of that. If the Thunderbolts play really well tonight, which they are, surely that's going to give them a lot of confidence going into the semis.
Now the cynics might wonder if these two teams will go all out. Oh, right. So the cynics were wondering if these two teams will go all out tonight. Well, Kolkata surely are going all in, and they're giving it everything they have. That's what we want to see from a champion side.
And if you're not going all out, I would say that you have to play your second six to give them the experience, to let them hammer away, and still make sure that you're building.
To set forwards before the coverage started to me, Louis told me winning is a habit. And that might have influenced Kolkata's approach and Ahmedabad as well. They've just not woken up so far.
Maybe I'm a bit wiser than I give myself credit for.
Let's not go that far.
Yeah, I know, we won't. I'm definitely not.
Nice serve that. Janshat sets it for Cody. Good work in the defense. Cody will have to try again. Janshat, here he is. That combination did not work. They tried twice, it's not worked. Hype attack. Nanda. Boom, shot set, blocked! Well, Ashwal is the only man who can do that. Not so much that young man there, who's hardly spent time on court, Abhilash.
And last time around, Jose Verdi got his shots. This time it's Abhilash. But that's a tough set, so we'll see it again in slow motion here. Good defensive plays by Ahmedabad. That tip is just perfect over the three-man block. And I think Janshat really trying to get his middle involved, but the blockers, they know that's coming.
That man mountain again, Manoj. On the lefty serve, here we go. Awkward looking service reception. Beneath covers up almost. Muttu sets it for Angamuttu. He has been blocked. Abhilash makes amends. He was blocked last time. This time he blocks Angamuttu.
Yeah, it's huge work. But coming back to just what we spoke about a moment ago, one thing I don't think they've got to win this game. One thing I don't think Dili's going to mind is Kumar getting sent as many balls as he's getting tonight, because he's seeing a lot of RuPay on the go point for that one. But there's so many little wrinkles and talking points about tonight's game going into the Final Four.
And I don't think I've seen Angamuttu block so much this entire season. That ball not going to the pin, he's not able to get the swing he wants. Well, tip works.
Cody, another angular shot. Muttu sets it. Boom, once again. Abhilash is doing better than Ashwal. They found a new blocking hero tonight.
He's great, isn't he? He was perfect against the Blitz, showed that he could get out to the pins nicely. And I think actually what we haven't quite highlighted is that Mutu is under quite a lot of pressure here at the moment. Again, it's another one that's missed out to the pin. A long ball, a high ball. The height of the ball gives Abhilash time to get across. For me, if it's a bit quicker, the spiker wins.
Yeah, the set needs a little bit more width on it. I keep saying that, I'm hammering on about it all season long, but the attackers have more options when that ball is not dying inside. When it dies inside, the blockers have the advantage.
Cody with the serve. Kusami sets it. Boom! That's more like it! That's Ragul. Little man, big ability. Gave it the full rip.
And that's exactly what I was speaking about. That's a much quicker ball. So you have a look, the ball is faster than feet here. And that's all that happens. Ragul just goes straight through the seam, so much lower, so much faster. RuPay, contactless shot, easy for him because of Mutu Sami's speed of the set.
Yeah, add that speed all day long. But again, you've got to be in system, so a good pass is what leads to that. Mutu's able to use those options, able to fling it out there.
Now, new volleyball fans might wonder, if you have a short-heighted spiker, do you set faster to him? That one landed outside. Oh, it's the end of the set. It's all going on at whirlwind pace. We'll talk about that tactical insight, that technical insight in just a minute when we come back. But Kolkata are looking in orange and blue hot form, not red hot form. That's for Calicut. 15-7, it's been a one-way show so far at the Regional Sports Complex in Kochi. The repeat of last year's finals. It's the last league game before the knockouts start tomorrow. Who will play against the Bengaluru Torpedoes in the first semi-final? The winner of this match. First of 5 sets to the defending champions, Kolkata Thunderbolts. Back in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Well, it's been an attacking masterclass from the Kolkata Thunderbolts, the reigning champions, outspiking and outserving the Ahmedabad defenders so far. They've been brilliant from the service line, and I think it's going to be a very, very tough evening for Ahmedabad.
Yeah, and if you want to head over to volleyballworld.com, you know you're going to get all of the stats as per usual, and I'm having a look at them. 7 players from Kolkata have been contributing to the score so far. Only 4 on Ahmedabad's side, and way less at that. Even Hari Prasad has a point on the board. I'm not sure of how I missed that one, but Libero is scoring points for Kolkata, then Ahmedabad's in trouble.
Certainly should have got one for the dig on Daniel early on from the middle, but second set underway. Just needs an improved performance from the defenders, and that first error from Rahul K will certainly give them something, maybe not to shout about, but to serve about next.
Now, talking of errors, we spoke about Ahmedabad's 17 errors in their last game. Now, has that number affected their intensity tonight? Are they playing it a bit safe? Do they need to open up a little bit more and be a little more adventurous, perhaps?
Well, that's a good question. We haven't seen them swinging at their full capacity yet, and I do wonder if they're reserving a little bit of energy, if they're trying to swing a little safer, like you said. On this occasion, it is Rahul who has the error, but they're not going to challenge it because, to my point, Louis, I think it's too early, and I don't think it's worth wasting this early in the game.
Well, to add to your question, Manish, a moment ago, I think at this time of the competition, there's so many questions to be asked. How much have they been training? How much have they been playing? How much energy have they got in the locker at the moment? How much confidence do they have going into the Final Four? How much do past competitions sort of live in their head? And remember, the record for the defenders isn't that great against the Thunderbolts either, and maybe that's playing on their mind too.
Smart work by Ashwal, and he makes sure he does the finishing job as well. His previous touch enabled that final touch. Set the cat among the pigeons, didn't he?
That's a huge swing out of Ashwal. I love seeing him play because he's so gritty, right? That first ball doesn't go his way. He's up there immediately to make sure he gets a big swing on it. His entire body is compressed. He doesn't even have the feet to land. He's more concerned about attacking the ball.
Telling Abhilash, mate, you may have done well, I'm the captain. Let me show you how it's done.
That's how.
2-1 to Kolkata in the second set. Here comes Agamuttu, has been blocked. This can't be true. Are you serious?
Very serious. I'm interested to see where that serve went, because what I believe is sometimes happening is that Angamutu's hitting from 4 on the left. They're serving to position 1 to put Mutu Sami under a little bit of pressure. I might have got that wrong. 2 blockers up, Ashwell's all over it again. But the pressure you put on Mutu sort of extends onto the hitter, serving away from Angamutu.
Where does Muthu go now? He's been trying to set to Vineet. It hasn't worked. Vineet's not found his attacking form. He'll goes to Vineet. Been blocked once again. Here we go. He'll try again. No chance of spiking. Doesn't matter. Point to Kolkata. Another error.
And it's exactly the same. They're serving. It's not a powerful serve, but they're testing the feet of Mutu Sami, seeing if he can get his feet behind the ball to open up all of his options. And in turn, the setting is a little bit inconsistent because of the service placement of the Thunderbolts.
And you also wonder if maybe the blockers have just got Angamutu's number. They've seen him play the entire season long. They know what he wants to do, where he wants to go in every situation. 3 times in a row stopped him.
Right attack. Now, you know what? Yes, Angamuthu isn't doing well tonight. He hasn't found his rhythm. But I suppose it's an opportunity for the others to put their hand up, saying there's more to the defenders than just one man.
Correct. I would absolutely tend to agree. But it's also down to Mutu Sami to get his feet around the ball to make sure he shows a good picture to all of his hitters. 3 balls in a row, the ball's gone from 2 to pipe to outside. I'd like to see him try and work the middle, go behind, something more testing.
Bring Manoj into play. Oh, well done. Oh, no. Nothing's working at all for Angamuthu. I'd like Muthu Sami up over to activate Manoj, the mountain man. That might just work.
And I'm having a look at Angamuthu right there. He's looking over his shoulder because I wonder if he knows he's not going to be on court much longer if this keeps up. He's leading points for Ahmedabad right now.
Should you take him off? Because it's all about making sure he's in the right zone for the semi-finals. It's a tricky call. It's not about winning this match. It's about the message you send across to Angamuthu by taking him off now.
That's a good point as well. Let him breathe. If he's not having his good match, if he's not in good form, don't let him fall deeper and deeper in that hole.
Maybe it'll come. This time the triple block. There's permission denied. Access not granted.
And this is where the defenders struggle. Said it before, we'll say it again. When the pass isn't good enough, they are too small on the outside. They need to play a fast offense. Have a look at the 3 blockers. It's going to the outside. We have lots of time, and then we can finish.
And Ashwal in between, and those 2 big blockers as well. He is so far over the net. He is so dominant in that zone. He can move left to right quicker than a lot of middles I've seen in this league.
Once again, terrible pass. That third touch has to go across to the other side, overpass. Here comes Ashwal. No, it's Vineet. Do I need to even tell you what happens when Vineet spikes? This is unreal. Delight for one, despair for the other. The 2 key strikers on either side, they're having a very different kind of day. Are Ahmedabad thinking about that final last year? The scars of the past. Are they back to life? Can Ahmedabad pull themselves out of this hole?
I just think the Thunderbolts have got their number behind the service line. They're serving incredibly well. The float serve is serving tactically. The spin serve is going for it. And in turn, the speed of their offense to find Vineet there, it was good setting from Janshad. For me, he has been the best setter in this league so far.
Just outside. Oh no, on the line! It's on the line, another super serve! Who said he was injured? He was just refueling his batteries or his engines.
You did it in the preview.
Huge serve, man. And how many times are Ahmedabad just gonna duck and try and get out of the way? You gotta open up, you gotta read the serve, you gotta move with your feet. They're giving away too many freebies on this.
I think so, but this is what makes a championship winning team, isn't it? They've got so many attacking options, but from the service line, Ashwell serves well. Rahul serves incredibly well. We know that he's had 2 super serves in a row. That is not going to cut the mustard from the defenders today, that review. It's certainly in. But they're really peacocking right now, and it's a joy to see.
Yeah, they're showing off, absolutely. And we saw their second squad come in. We saw what they have in the bench. But now for the starters to get that big moment again, to get back on court for Rahul, he's absolutely showing off. Great serve.
It looks like Ahmedabad have wasted this review.
I mean, at the same time, they've got to stop leaking points. Maybe that's the best way. At least this review, it's a super service being confirmed, but at least the review will maybe slow the momentum of that man down. He has been sensational. The Thunderbolts are flying, the reigning champs, looking to win the league for the first time, to tee themselves up against Bengaluru tomorrow. It has been the perfect start. Rao on fire, and it's the Thunderbolts that lead the defenders 9-2. It's time for us to take a very short break.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Here is a look at the top 5 spikers of the league so far. Angamutu right there in 4th place. Vinit in 3rd. Guru, whose name we won't be saying very much anymore. He's out of the competition.
Well, if you want to see the top 5 blockers, there they are. Shamim leading, and then Sandoval carrying a bit of a hip injury, but playing incredibly well. There's Ashral Rai, 19 points. Kartik and Trent O'Day making up the 5.
Such an enviable side, this, the Kolkata Thunderbolts. Everything's gone to plan for them this season. Just the one loss. Another super serve. This is exasperating for Ahmedabad and exhilarating for Kolkata.
He's done it again. 2 super serves in a row.
It's like the sun rises from the east. It's a habit. It's what's meant to happen.
He did it against Kochi, and now he's doing it against the defenders.
Rahul, super server of the season, 2 in a row. That one wasn't even close to the line. That one was just straight down that channel, forcing some decisions between the receivers, and they had no answers.
The fear of Rahul's service is writ large in the body language of the Ahmedabad backcourt players, especially the libero, who almost went for one more. Well, he can afford to. It's a massive lead. He can afford to. Give it a go.
Anyone else think that the Thunderbolts might have somewhere that they have to be after this game or something? Oh, and here he comes.
Manish! Manish! He's there!
Second set.
I trust my sources. They never let me down. There we go. Cody gets another point with the captain unable to keep the ball in play. Now that Shanti John is in, it will allow Angamutu to relax a little bit. He can take a bit of pressure off him, but I'm really keen to see that man's intensity. Will he go full throttle? Is he fit enough? Is he 100%? Is he 90%? If he is 90, is that going to be good enough?
And even if he is 100%, super point for Ahmedabad, this one's going to be worth 2. My question is, even if he's fit, is he going to be in rhythm? Is he going to have to touch? Is he going to be explosive enough? Because all these guys have been playing for 5 weeks now, and Shanti hasn't.
Well, Ashwal goes straight to Shanti. The way to say hello to him. A super point has been called for. If Kolkata win this, they will have 11 set points to go 2 up. Well, 3 for now. The value of this next point is 2. Ashwal goes straight to the libero. Muthu sets it. What a Zeddy. Quite tentative there. Muthusamy sets it for Angamutu. Versus 2 blocks. Still unable to penetrate. Here comes Vinit. Gets a ricochet of Zeddy's right hand. And they get 11 set points for themselves. The party continues in Kolkata.
Super point going the way of Kolkata. Love this energy out of them. So the target is Shanti John. Libero stepping in to try and help. Some great defensive effort, almost catching them off guard. Angamutu, again, not able to score. And just a pretty simple swipe off of Daniel. He's normally much more controlled, as in cutting off that angle and taking away that zone.
Well, they had a session at 7:30 this morning. Maybe that's something to do with it. It's just a little bit not quite there, a bit lethargic.
So the lady on your screen to the left is Muthuswamy Appavu's mother. Sitting alongside her is Mr. DG Chaudhary, one of the owners of the Ahmedabad Defenders. You can own a few magic moments as an NFT on treasureclub.io, our official NFT partner. Is Muthuswamy slightly nervous because Mom's in the crowd?
Krishnamurti's wife is there. Sammy's mother is there. It's a family affair, so maybe there's a little bit of nerves to that. But I'm having to think, and if I'm any other team in the league watching this game, they're going to be saying, where was this Ahmedabad when we were playing them?
Boom, Shanti! Shanti gets the first touch of this season, and that gets Ahmedabad a point. That is the power of Shanti John. Hashtag I told you so.
Fair play to you, Shanti John. Turning up, not having played for 5 weeks or so, and then crushing a pipe away from the body.
Yeah, he's targeting Ashwal, who swung that serve to him earlier. It's a RuPay on-the-go point.
That thud that you heard when he backed the ball would have been heard across the country on Sony. It was beautiful sound. Boom. Now,
that is the second step to the Thunderbolts. Andrew James, who came on and served a match-winning serve just a few days ago, unfortunately into the net this time. And have a look at Cody Caldwell. Have a look at the staff of the Thunderbolts. They are delighted because the confidence is rising and they're beating probably their closest rivals 2-0, and it's an absolute thumping.
Lot of pressure on Andrew Cohen to come in and deliver there, but there are the scores. What a whopping Kolkata over Ahmedabad. Make sure you come back after the break.
Well, only a few points have been scored in the opening 2 sets from the defenders, and have a look at that. So many errors. Well, 4 of those points have been errors that the defenders have scored. They've only scored 11 points so far to my maths. 10 successful spikes for the Thunderbolts as well.
You can head over to volleyballworld.com to get the exclusive stats of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. But did you see the stat for the serves? 4 aces by Kolkata. Most of them, if not all of them, super serves.
3 to Rahul, 1 to Ashwal, what I remember. Ahmedabad are looking like a pale shadow of themselves. They need to wake up.
But we talk about aggressive volleyball when it comes to Torpedoes. The Thunderbolts are there in abundance as well. Aggressive serving, blocking, spiking. And I think that the defenders are just a little bit dazed now, bruised, confused. Bucci's getting stuck in to the referee now as well, maybe asking for a review.
I think they are. I think they thought that ball was in. But again, they've already used up and lost 1 review. So is this the moment to use your second review?
You know,
I would argue no.
That man's the key instigator. Krishnamurti comes in and says, Mr. Montazeri, go back to where you should be. Let us decide. Muthuswamy Appavu, a lot milder, gentler in his plea. He's in conversation with Angamuttu.
It doesn't look good though, does it, for the defenders at the moment? You look at the faces, you look at the way they're communicating.
Looks on the line to me.
That looks good to me as well, Manish.
Second review this.
That does look good. So yes, they'll probably win this review, but that means they have none left. And if you're trying to go to a 5th set to win a 5th set, you don't want to lose your second review on the first point of the 3rd set.
He's just searching for momentum. They've spent this review to buy momentum. Feel good. It's like spending too much in the spa just to feel good.
I'm guilty of that for sure here in India.
When in reality, it's not as good as you think it is walking out.
Lies.
Just burst the bubble for so many people. Everyone pretends. Anyway, let's focus on the volleyball. To me, it looks in. And yes, well done to the TV umpire, and well done to Daniel Montazeri as well. He was the key instigator. He was the one who sold the idea of a review to the coach and the captain, and they went with it.
Isn't he the key instigator of absolutely everything?
Yep, they call him Mota Bhai in Ahmedabad. Daniel Montazeri. Philippine on his name. The Mota Bhai in Gujarati means big brother.
Oh, he's done it! He's done it! He's got himself a yellow card. Daniel, one of the nicest, kindest guys you will meet off court, but do not mess with him when it comes to volleyball.
Oh, there'll be a few people having a little rice smack to themselves.
You know what? I think he likes these moments. He likes being needled a little bit. That might just wake him up. So that yellow card could be bad news for the Kolkata Thunderbolts.
Yeah, absolutely could. You don't want to fire him up.
He might just have done that. Pressed the wrong button. Daniel made it happen. He brought it all upon himself. They have a 1-0 lead. The first time in this match, I think. They're in the lead. Here we go. Vineet! You don't stop that, man, do you? Stop me if you can, said that champion spiker.
Yeah, we spoke about this at the top of the show, that there's a big mismatch out there. Nanda's 184, Shantosh is 195. So Vinit Kumar is quite capable of just staying high. And this time he hits the seam, but there's a complete mismatch over there for him. It's a RuPay contactless shot. I'm not surprised he's getting a lot of ball. My question would be is you don't want him to get set too much, because at the moment they're having another match tomorrow evening.
Does look like we will be seeing this team in action tomorrow. But I'm liking the aggression. Go after it, especially make Daniel move after he's had that big call. Oh, there's Angamutu. There's the man we've been missing this entire match so far. Is this the moment where things start to turn around for the boys in black?
Dear Ahmedabad, do not hit the snooze button. This is the time to wake up. It's now or the second semi-final for you.
Yeah, confidence, as we said, is such a big thing going into the Final Four. And now I think what Dakshinamurti wants from this game is probably different to when it started. Just wants a performance, something to leave here that he can be happy about.
Daniel Motasetti, the Don. He's felt danger from the defenders. Watch out, Kolkata. Daniel has entered the room.
What a swing. We knew this was coming. You got heated up. You poked the bear. You're getting a RuPay contactless shot because Daniel has arrived to play.
A big bear. A big, hairy bear.
Grizzly.
A bear who bulldozes his way. No matter what, that man represents guts. Incredible self-belief. So does that man. This time he goes down the line from zone 4. He always finds a way. He's better than Google Maps.
Very good. Unlike Manish to laugh at his own jokes over there either.
Just don't use Apple Maps because then you will get lost. Man, that's a great swing down the line. He has been clinical tonight. 8 points already so far.
I would just like, Daniel hasn't been used a lot. I'm flipping back to Daniel here. Not being used a lot in the game because the pass hasn't been there. And all he's trying to do, I think, is assert himself into the game somehow and try and make a difference. And I think the more that they can get the pass and use him, the more success obviously they're going to have. But he's at the forefront of everything, and I've got to give it to him. He's pushing to get himself in the game.
He looks suffocated in the first 2 sets, the defenders. Now it seems like they're a little more relaxed. They've calmed down. Need to be a bit more patient. Hodey! Often manages to find that really difficult angle. He doesn't go straight, he goes finer. More towards zone 4. From his own zone 4 to 4.
Yeah, we don't usually get to see a lot of Cody in offensive action. He's there, used most of the time as a defender or as a receiver, but fantastic job to get him that ball he wants. He loves that high, wide ball. He can reach over the blockers. Daniel's not expecting that ball to go his way. He's nowhere in sight.
Yeah.
Nice finish.
Brandon Greenway was saying, actually, from Mumbai Meteors today, that if you use the opposite Vinit enough, and if you use the middle enough, Cody will always have that one-on-one. And it's one thing to have it, it's one thing to put it away like that. That's one of my favourite swings of this whole competition. Not many can hit that angle.
Angamutu can hit most angles. He's still yet to find his groove, but Vinit is on top of the world. He can do no wrong, can he?
And it's It's interesting, Louis, that you got that bit of information from Brandon, because I wonder at this stage in the tournament how much these teams know about each other and how often they've been scouting. You know, one team versus another will do a little bit more video than the other. But by this point, they've kind of dialed in on what their strengths and weaknesses are, and it's just a matter of pinning your strengths against the other team's weaknesses. And I would say that man beneath is a huge weapon. Kolkata.
So is that man, Ashwal, the captain. Probably the best captain there is in this league. He shows them how it's done. Just like that. The Libero is in pursuit. No chance of a third touch. I would have liked him to dive a little bit, but maybe it was the advertising hoardings that stopped him from diving. Another great serve from Ashwal. He already has a super serve to his name.
And this is, for me, one of the most difficult swings to hit. Deep in the corner to the line. High risk, yes, but you have to have a good arm, and he has a great arm to get it there. Ashwal, Rahul, Vinit, all serving well. Everyone needs to watch out here, because they're looking dangerous, the Thunderbolts.
5 aces for Kolkata.
Just outside.
Touch.
Was there?
It looked like one of the players was lunging at it, and it was going well and truly out. So I'm not sure what the idea was there. But again, Ahmedabad making some interesting decisions, to say the least, tonight.
An outswing from Ashwal, using his wrists so beautifully. That touch saved them a point, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually. That could potentially have been landing in. So rather than risk a super serve, throw out an arm on it, we'll give it to you. That's fair.
6-4. Kolkata in control. Another great serve. And it's easy. When you serve like that, you're almost sowing the seeds of an easy point. We need to do that while he's half asleep.
Yeah, and the biggest compliment we can give here to the serving is that he's hitting both sidelines every time. So the passing unit shifts one way, and then he hits the opposite sideline. Then he comes back to the original sideline, and it's so difficult for three passers to track that. There aren't many tells. He's not turning in the air and showing where he's going. He's holding pretty solid, and that's why it's so successful. World class.
Yeah, huge serving pressure out of Kolkata are putting Ahmedabad in a really difficult spot. An easy overpass. You need just eat it up.
So late to work as well. Right, very late for that block. Once again, great serve. That is ball. Oh, Cody keeps it in play almost. Janshad wasn't too far. There was that slight face palm moment for Janshad. The Ahmedabad defenders, the owners, the Chaudhrys are there with the belief that the defenders can somehow stitch together a comeback. But the key reason for their struggles is them not being able to receive those powerful serves well. How do you get around that problem?
That's a great question, and only they can answer it. But I have questions to Santosh right now. That ball looked wide enough. He had huge line available, and still he's tipping. It worked. He got a bit lucky, I think, because Cody was there. But that was a perfect opportunity to get a big line rip.
Yeah, I'd like to see if he could come over that left shoulder if his arm will allow it, but exactly the same.
Well, on the line, reckons the first referee. To me, it looked dicey. No reviews left, guys. Therefore, Daniel's quiet.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. There was a huge net touch there by the blocker. I think it was Manoj. But we're going to head to the first Emil Cool technical timeout. Make sure you come back. Kolkata leading by 2. The RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Kolkata leading by 2. And here's a look at how they're doing it. Vineet Kumar has been incredible. 11 points so far. 9 attacks, 1 block, and a super serve to his name.
This is his best performance of the season for me. We see teams rely on their opposites too much. Calicut with Jerome at times. Guru another one as we have a look at his stats. 9 attack points, 1 block, 1 serve. But the beauty about this team, for me, guys, is the fact that they don't rely on him, but he's always there.
Yeah, they've got options. They've got so many options. Like you said, they've got Rahul through the pipe. They've got Ashwal in the middle. They've got a lot of options, but yeah, they're using him unlike Andamusu, who maybe got overused last time he was out.
Dinesh Kumar, the MVP of last season, has found his rhythm, and so has the rest of the team. They've defended so well. They've been miserly in the defense, and they've just not allowed Ahmedabad any rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, correct. This time Janshad's on the front court. So going to 4, running quick and staying high is going to work. Janshad obviously not as big as Vinit on the front court, so Santosh is going to have a little bit more joy, but not much to shout about so far for the defenders.
Rahul, Janshad shot set, goodbye. Then Abhilash, 1, 2, 3, ting, 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 like in WWE.
RuPay on the go point, and Abhilash has just stepped into the shoes of Deepesh wonderfully, hasn't he? As a serve straight down the middle, so it's a great time to use middle, have everything on, but then you've got to turn it late away from the block, and Abhilash does that well.
Yeah, he has a lot of space there past Manoj. Manoj usually much better at getting really aggressive at the nets, but again, he's not thinking that ball's going to the middle, so why commit?
Absolutely. I have questions of the game plan this evening of the defenders. I don't think they've served as well as the Thunderbolts, but they've also been put under pressure, and sometimes, Key, when your pass is struggling and you're being ripped from the service line, it's very difficult to go back and serve with intention yourself.
Yeah, Ahmedabad are going to have to play it a little bit safe because they don't want to give away any points here. Manoj getting a big swing, but he kind of paintbrushed that, so he's not going to be cheering too hard about it.
Kolkata still in the lead. Haven't dropped their intensity, and that's proof of it. They will keep coming hard at the Ahmedabad defenders from every angle, every corner. There is no respite, there's no hiding. When you know the opponent is bombarding you. This is blitzkrieg stuff.
It's a proper performance, isn't it, from the Thunderbolts? Super point from the defenders, and one would say this could be the last throw of life. If they lose this one, it's a long, 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 long way back.
How long?
Longer than long. There's no measurement.
Well, Abhilash has the serve for this super point. Chance to swing on the outside, and it goes wide. A super point given away by Ahmedabad. Kolkata now creeping closer to the end line.
Celebrating the Thunderbolts, but at the same time the defenders have got to be so disheartened by this. It's a service, pretty comfortable pass a little off the net, has to go to 4, but the timing is way out from Nanda. He's expecting something a lot quicker, I think, and then gets caught coming backwards. Either he's in too early or the tempo is out.
Either way, 2 points go to Kolkata. They now just need 3. Oh, there's Deely watching on.
Taking notes. Who does he want to face? Boom! Oh, not yet. Not yet. Cody adjusts his angle, recalibrates. Here comes Angamuthu. He will like that. He will like that. He will love it. Although he'd like a clean strike without any ricochet. But he'll take that. Manoj goes off. In comes the Harsh.
I think that in the next set, should this go 3-0, we see a lot of substitution, surely.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And even that swing, I don't think that's the best that we've seen out of Angamuthu. He gets a bit lucky off that inside arm of Ashwal, but even, I'm not loving the body language either. There's kind of some discussion happening between the players of Ahmedabad even after winning a point.
Now, we got a glimpse of David Lee a few seconds ago. He's taking notes, sitting next to Tuhin.
Looking smart as well.
Oh, there he is. He's hidden his notes there. I think Tuhin's making notes on his phone. Oh, there's the notepad. Who does he want to play? Who does he want to play tomorrow?
Don't you dare zoom in on that. That's all secret. Highly confidential information on that pad.
I don't think they're going to have much choice in about 2 minutes' time.
He's written Vinit Kumar's name 10
Boom!
times over and over.
Hello, Mr. Motazetti. Well done.
That's the Daniel Motazetti that we've got to know very well over the past 5 weeks. Going away from the body towards the sideline. Perfectly on time, but he hasn't got much service this evening, and that one was a little bit forced because the pass was very tight.
Yeah, he ended up getting a little bit tight as well, but disciplined. So we've seen so many unforced errors, balls out the side or net touches. So he does good job to get past Ashwal on that occasion.
Look at the stare down from Daniel Montezzetti.
Well, it's coming closer to that moment when Bengaluru will know who they are playing in the semi-finals, the first semi-final tomorrow. The winner of this match takes on the Bengaluru Torpedoes with the last through the door into the semi-finals, because Kochi won not just one set but 4 last night against Mumbai. 13-10. Kolkata. Can the defenders somehow forge a dramatic comeback and take this to the 4th set? Remember, all 5 sets will be played one final time in this tournament. This is the last league game. The knockouts start tomorrow. The knockouts are going to be best of 5.
Well, that was the first passing error that I remember from the Thunderbolts. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It certainly does happen. But this one is in perfect spot, and it's a free ball. Chance to build through the rally. Cody with the free ball.
Daniel is always there. Now they've gone to another option. Daniel Montezzetti is a magnet. Keeps attracting the ball. Oh, Cody, no, it's Hurry. There's the third touch. Great rally. Ahmedabad still fighting. Daniel tries again, fails. Come again. He will this time. That's how you boss the opposition. This Daniel can be Bond as well. What a player. What a hero.
Daniel bringing all the energy Ahmedabad need right now. They are so close to being knocked into the 2nd spot if they don't turn it up, and he is fighting like his life depends on it. Coming there for a little tip pickup. Then the ball comes back on their side. Here it is through a soft roll, and he's ready. He's up again, looking for Mutu, asking for the ball 2nd time in a row, Bam.
Well, they're 1 hour and 8 minutes late to the show, but better late than never for the defenders here, and maybe they just have one more chance.
Well, here's a look at the MVP leaderboard. Guru still right there on the top, followed by Jerome, but Kumar and Angamutu are there in the mix as well. Of course, you get 10 points if you finish in top scorer of the match. 2nd gets 8 points, and the 3rd gets 6. Well, Daniel leading the charge. The Iranian player showing some guts, glory, some grit, whatever you want to call it. He is leading by example.
And they've doubled their points tally from the opening 2 sets here, the defenders, and that is a sign of how much they've been outclassed this evening. That 11 points in the first 2 sets, 11 in the 3rd, but now they're match point down. Daniel has been toured, and it's been a game of real perfection. You can't remember too many errors. The service has been on point. The aggression, it's been it again. He has been outstanding.
3 match points to Kolkata. One of these 3 points, these next 3 points, if they need 3 that is, will take them to the top spot, and they will confirm their semi-final with the Bengaluru Torpedoes, coached by that man on your screen, David Lee. Looking serious. Focused or nervous?
I think he's a little bit zoned out. I think he's just focusing on what his team needs to do. He doesn't care who they play. Their team has been on the rise. He unleashed that secret weapon in Alireza Abiluch. That double sub that he's been using has been fantastic, and I think he's thinking, no matter what team tonight, how do I make that work?
Correct.
I met him at lunch today, and I asked him if he's been watching. He said, I've been listening very carefully. Oh, every word you guys have said. That's all he said.
Ominous.
3 match points for Kolkata. Try again.
And
what a rare serve that was from, from Rahul. Very uncharacteristic.
just tried to take some pace off of it, didn't he? And I think D-Lee there is thinking about every service rotation, everything they're going to face tomorrow based on what he's seeing there. Where will they serve when the set is at position 1 on the backcourt? 2, 3, 4, 5 to try and stop this onslaught.
Here we go. Oh, 2 match points saved. Now Ahmedabad is serving well. Interesting. score. A question that I asked you guys has gone unanswered so far. How do you receive when Kolkata are serving the way they have tonight? I know Bengaluru are listening right now.
You just have to communicate a bit more, and I think the same is the case here for this serve by Nanda. Just get your feet to the ball, easier said than done, but communication is so key.
One more match point, that goes out, Kolkata win. They go top of the table, and that means the defending champions will be squaring off against the Bengaluru Torpedoes in the first semi-final of Season 2 of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League powered by A23. This performance has been clinical, professional. It's been a comprehensive win against the Ahmedabad defenders who just have not turned up. The first 3 sets and the match to the Kolkata Thunderbolts.
Well, you hate to see it end on an error, but that's been the story of the match. Ahmedabad with 9 unforced errors, Kolkata with only about 6. But that's how it finishes, 3-0 for Kolkata. I wonder if we'll see some changes after we come back from the match. But we have our semi-finalist positions. Here will be the matchups. Kolkata will take on Bengaluru, who they beat 3-2 in game 1 of the season. Ahmedabad take on Calicut, but there's still 2 more sets to play. Make sure you come back.
Well, there are the statistics. The reigning champions have beaten the defenders by 3-0. The same score as the final last season, as the 2 teams retain their rivalry. 19 successful spikes, 4 super serves tell you a story.
Yeah, and you can head over to get the exclusive stats on volleyballworld.com. I'm seeing 6 aces. 4 that were super served for for Kolkata. But Ahmedabad already with so many unforced errors that we're not used to seeing out of them. We talked about this all season long. They've been really consistent in controlling those errors, forcing the team on the other side of the net to play. We're not seeing that tonight.
When you get to the end of the competition, nerves can certainly play a part in how you end what could have been a brilliant season till that moment. But we're underway, it's a little bit tight, and the first thing that I would like to pay attention to are the substitutions. There's plenty of substitutions. Funny enough, Angamutu stays in, which interests me. We'll talk about in a moment, I guess. But we're looking at a very much a second 6 from the Thunderbolts.
Interesting that Ahmedabad has stuck with their #1 players. All of their starters are still in. Unlike Chauncey John, why haven't we seen him again?
Maybe just using him lightly to try and stagger his recovery towards the final, I would say.
Might as well use him in the semi-finals. Day after.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of questions for that man in terms of, is Shanti John fit enough to play 5 sets? Is he fit enough to play 3? Is he in rhythm? RuPay contactless shot for that one. Santosh buries it, but the defenders have to dig deep for some confidence now.
Just a reminder, we do have our semi-finals lineup as the Kolkata Thunderbolts have won this match 3-0. Remember, all 5 sets will be played in the league stage. This is the last league game, and it will be Kolkata versus Bengaluru and Ahmedabad versus the Calicut Heroes. They'll be salivating right now at the prospect of taking on Ahmedabad. If they are so low on confidence, we can trust Ahmedabad to come back with renewed vigor and belief day after for the second semi-final.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why they've left their starters on. They want to remind them, hey, you guys know what you need to do out there. You know you're strong enough. Get them a little bit of confidence back in these next 2 sets. But yeah, Kolkata, ace from Mutu, nicely done. Kolkata will be watching and salivating, but Calicut, not in top form right now. So if I'm Ahmedabad, I wouldn't be too upset about playing them in the semis.
I don't know if Sandoval speaks English. If he's listening to you, you might have just poked the bear.
You know I love poking the bear. The only other thing is, though, they brought in a replacement for Matt Hilling, who was injured, a player from Oman, who has been reported to be one of the best players in a while.
Nicely done. Questions are being asked. The libero, Angamut, is still on court. One-on-one, works. Well done, Manoj. You know, Ahmedabad are now playing against a relatively, I wouldn't say weaker, but less accomplished Kolkata Thunderbolts arsenal. And they've got to win the next 2 sets just to get the belief back in the camp.
And I think they will if they stick with this 6, because they're just cold. They haven't got rhythm. One team have been out there for the last hour and 20 minutes. The other team have been on the bench. It's going to take time for these guys to grow into the game, especially with so many changes. Usually you can make 1 or 2 and blend it in. This is a whole new side coming in.
Now, it's a question that athletes across the planet have asked themselves all their lives. How does one get momentum or rhythm? How does one find rhythm or catch rhythm? Is there a formula? Is there a roadmap, an algorithm?
I would say, in my humble opinion, is just to focus. There he is, Shanti. Is just to focus 1 point at a time. In volleyball specifically, you can't get overwhelmed with what's going to happen the next set, what's going to happen the next game, what are we going to do in the finals. You just want to go point by point. How are we going to get a good reception, turn it into a good touch, turn it into a good attack, and go from there.
One of my broadcasting heroes once said, focus on the process goals, don't worry about the end result. It was the great Harsha Bogle who said this. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Amul Cool emerging player nominees. Pick one, guys, pick one.
Rao.
Absolutely.
I like Nanda. He's been fun to watch.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think Rahul's had a little more spice than Nanda, who woke up a little bit late in the tournament. So yeah, coming back to what we were discussing earlier. One of India's greatest cricketers ever, MS Dhoni, would keep talking about process. Just focus on the process, make the end result irrelevant.
Correct. There's going to be lots of little processes. That could be your system. That could be decision making. It could be your service tactic. Process is it's a word that's used a lot, but the meaning is very, very spread out and pretty diverse in sport, I think. And if they can just focus on serving tough, serving certain areas, setting the right option at the right time, covering, everything comes off the back of those things.
Yeah, and a lot of those things are also started in training. So we're only seeing a tiny, slim section of what these players have been doing for the last month. We only get to see them on court, but they've been training, they've been eating healthy, they've been working in the gym, they've been doing everything they need to do to lead up to this moment. So all of those processes, like you said, have to come into play at the right moment, but you can't get overwhelmed by looking at too much at one time.
Priyansh once again gets in another weapon that Kolkata are sharpening. Who knows, come the big day, they might need him.
Finally, they get a point on the board.
You can't lose here if you're the Thunderbolts, because yes, they're losing at the moment 7-1 on the score, but at the same time, their first 6 have been phenomenal this evening, and now all their bench players are getting a long time on court to grow in confidence. There's Cody. Hello again, sir. Welcome back.
I've got another question for you. I'll ask you that question on the other side of this Amul Cool technical timeout, and the Ahmedabad lead by 7 in the 4th set.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. The semi-finalists have been set. Kolkata will take on Bengaluru tomorrow, and the Ahmedabad defenders will take on Calicut on the 4th of March. We're going to get a lot of moments from these matches, and you can own them through our NFT partner, treasureclub.io, if you would like.
Could we see a repeat of last year's final, the same teams? Or do you want to pick a new winner? A new finalist? Okay, give me your pick for the winner and the finalists.
Before this match, I would have said Ahmedabad, but I do think that they've got a lot more up their sleeves. So this is not the Ahmedabad that we're used to seeing. And I think if they can get back to the way that they were playing all season long, minus that one loss in the beginning, I think they're looking pretty good.
Bengaluru Torpedoes, biggest upset ever tomorrow. They're going to come out, serve tough, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a hangover. The one thing I would say is you don't want to be playing your best volleyball tonight either. Yes, it's good for momentum, but they need to match it tomorrow.
I'm buying you dinner tonight. I'm with you. I believe the Torpedoes could be celebrating come Sunday night.
Look at you whining and dining me on my last few nights in India. Let's go.
Well, also Bengaluru they've kind of flown under the radar this whole time. They haven't been one of the top teams. They've been kind of just fighting for their position in the semifinals. They got it after that incredible performance But yeah, I don't think any of the other teams are going to expect them to come out firing, but they've looked really good.
The problem is not so much losing for Ahmedabad. The problem is they haven't made Kolkata work hard enough. They could have perhaps made the job easier for Bengaluru. Make them work a little bit harder. Kolkata just run away with this match.
Yeah, and that's why they brought on their second string right now. The rest of this match is effectively a friendly game if you're a Kolkata player. You don't really care what the outcome is. You want to rest your top players, give them as much time between right now and when the next game happens to have their legs fresh. Well, Cody's celebrating because Kolkata wins that review, but it's still only the second point of this set. 2-8.
Crazy set, this one, because of the defenders in the opening two sets were nowhere, but so many changes to the Thunderbolts side. It takes time for players like Anush to find the rhythm, especially with a new setter on the court, new middles, and obviously Cody is still out there because Cody just never leaves the court in India.
Now, if Ahmedabad run away with set 4 and 5, will Kolkata look back and say, maybe we shouldn't have taken off our first choice players?
No.
No, absolutely not. As I just said, this is effectively just a friendly game now, and I think they put Cody back on to kind of stabilize the reception a bit, give a chance to those players to actually get some hits. They were being thrown to the wolves in that serving run by Ahmedabad.
Or it could well be a case of Cody saying, I'm not coming off, I want to be here. He's quite capable of doing that.
Oh, you calling him a diva? He's not. Cody, you're not the drama.
You were talking about processes just a moment ago. One of the main processes here is that the bench get a good run out, and if they need them come the final four, they've actually had a couple of sets to get out and have a ripped out here this evening.
Yeah. What a squad they put together though. Daniel gets another point off that triple block. It was Birdie right at the heart of that triple block with Cody on one side.
I'd be very surprised if the Thunderbolts put that performance together again tomorrow. It's going to be a big thing, but big swing. Daniel's back in the game. I think we've already mentioned on this, but keeping the same team out here, the defenders. Oh! We'll come back to that, shall we?
Super serve. A little souvenir to help you feel a touch better when they sleep tonight for the semi-finals. With thoughts of the semi-finals, Angamuttu, really easy after that.
And I feel for Jose Verdi. He's barely gotten any court time. And this is the nightmare existence of all middle blockers. You're opening up, you're taking away some space to get your approach. The ball hits the net and dribbles right in front of you, but nobody's around but you, and it's your responsibility. That is so tough.
You know, from a foreign player's contribution point of view, Kolkata have done so with only Cody. Supposed to show that their Indian strength is so solid. Haven't really needed. Oh, Jose Verdi gets into the act as well. I think he heard me. That I'm here as well. Why'd you talk about me?
Yeah, he did very well, didn't he? Tipping the ball, changing direction quickly. Perfect work for Verdi. And I think he's got what it takes. I just think that the middle is already a stronghold for this team. Ashwell, we've had Deepesh. They've got 4 or 5 good middles.
And they haven't missed Deepesh at all. Deepesh is injured, out of action.
Yeah, we hope he gets better soon.
Here comes Surya. Tomar gets another point. Loves going down the line. That man very tall. Wiry, but very fiery.
Yeah, and I like that set as well from Hadi Haran. He's carrying it up a little bit. He gave that ball right back to Jose Verdi after he made the mistake. Then he's throwing it back. And Nanda on the move. I'm liking that style.
Again, it's a showing of them being undersized out at 4, that they're very easy to go over the top of Nanda and Shantosh, and that's a big weakness for the defenders going into this Final Four. I mean, I think every other coach, player will be watching it and go, we feed the right side, we go to the line, we'll get a lot of success.
I guess that's another question for me as to why Shanti John doesn't get back in to just give him some more reps.
Must be fitness, or there must be something that he's not quite 100%, or maybe he's aggravated something by being out there this evening.
Nanda, usually so consistent from the service line. not tonight. Nothing going their way tonight.
Again.
Ahmedabad up by several points, but I do wonder if Kolkata might still come back and sneak this set.
Really?
Well, just the way the luck has been falling on Ahmedabad's side, and every ball has been falling with it.
I will buy dinner tomorrow night if they do that. No more Manish buying.
On it. I'll take that bet.
You know what? I'm just thinking, if Ahmedabad want to get themselves into a good zone for the semi-finals, they might just tell themselves everything that had to go wrong has gone wrong together tonight.
Perception versus reality, really. They could end well, but reality is they haven't performed under pressure in those first 3 sets. But if they end well, they could walk off a little bit more positive about it.
And finally, the first time in the game, the Thunderbolts have called for a super point. Yeah, go for it. You don't take them home anyway.
Here we go, Keith. This is your chance. Chance of a comeback.
Well, could be. Could be.
Harsh to serve.
I like Harsh. He's come off and done a good job with that lefty whip.
Just outside. Kolkata win the super point. It's 14-8. 6 more set points to the defenders for what will be or could be their first sip of success in this match. They've been thirsting for it for a while now.
Need more than a sip.
We're all aiming for that cup of joy on the sun on the 5th of March. The grand finale at 7 p.m. Sunday night on Sony and on Volleyball World. Nicely done by Manoj. Couldn't close it though. Oh, a bit of a joust. Here comes Angamuthu. No, the pipe attack. Cody with one hand. Verdi on the other hand. Boom, Suyansh. Libro. Muthusamy. Here comes Angamuthu. Still in play. No, it isn't. There's a certain uneasiness about Ahmedabad's offense tonight. Just not getting the rhythm. They got the point and they won the 4th set, which is their first. How much belief or rhythm can they draw out of this 4th set? They won this set against a second-string Kolkata attack.
Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be much to write home about, like you said, winning against the second string, but they'll need any bit of momentum that they can take. That's a big, heavy Angamuthu swing. A couple of times I thought there was a chance there for that to be recycled, but Ahmedabad will be happy. Nevertheless, 1 set in the pocket.
Well, there's the confirmation. Ahmedabad defenders have pulled one back. 3-1 though. Kolkata Thunderbolts have already won. We're going to head for a very quick break, but please don't go anywhere. Join us in just a moment. Well, the disappointing news for the Ahmedabad defenders is that they lost the match 3-0. The good news is they've got a set back in set 4. There are the stats, and the successful spikes have gone up, the blocks, and the unforced errors are a little bit less.
Yeah, you can head over to Volleyball World for all the exclusive stats. Santosh had 4 points in that last set. Angamuthu had 2. Suryansh for Kolkata with 3, but nobody else really able to get going there.
We're into the 5th and final set of the last league game. Match number 28, and over the last 3.5 weeks or so, we've had so much content. A lot of that can be enjoyed on Share Chat, Moj and Yo-Yo TV, our official content partners. Boom! First point of the 5th set. Courtesy Manoj to the Ahmedabad defenders. You know, they can perhaps fool themselves, try to fool themselves and say, forget about the first 3 sets. We won the 4th, we want to win the 5th. If that happens, we'll be all right for the semis, mentally at least.
I think that's exactly what Action Immortal is doing, keeping them out there to try and find some rhythm. I don't know if there's a right answer. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's wrong. I don't know if it's right. That you either bring them off or you let them build rhythm. It doesn't matter, but I'm sure he would have wanted to get his bench out tonight and get them a run out, just like Alva's done with the Thunderbolts.
Nicely done. Well, Kolkata Thunderbolts, a very well-oiled unit. Anush there with the whoosh from zone 4.
Yeah, attempt. That's exactly what it was. It wasn't a full attack. It wasn't really a tip. It was just something in between. A push, throw, a whoosh, swoosh, a noosh, whatever you want to call it. RuPay contactless shot is what we're going to call it.
A RuPay contactless whoosh. There you go. Next season.
Hariharan. Another name to reckon with. Boom, Daniel fails. The block was there. He'll try again. If he gets a chance, he might have to block first. And he will. Once again, he's still there. Double block this time, but Duryansh finds a way to go down the line. Attacks Srikanth, the little libero in the white.
And if you're Ahmedabad, you can't get too confident after that last set. Remember, they were serving really well. They ended up with a 7-0 lead at one point. But I still have a feeling this Kolkata team, even though it is the bench squad, they're going to be playing for pride. They're not going to want to give anything up. They're going to want to show what they can do so they get drafted for next season.
Yeah, they're a hungry bunch, and Duryansh is looking mightily impressive on the right side, though Vinit Kumar leaves a big gap in the team, let's put it that way.
Angamothu hits it just in. Bobby has this habit of taking that extra second before he pulls out his left or right hand. Kolkata are thinking about where that landed and they want to review it. He got one review left, I think, or no? No reviews left for either team, so continue playing. Then Bobby shoots the first referee.
Just had a look at the squad there that are out and already stretching, getting ready for tomorrow. Their job's done.
Yeah, they look very relaxed, and that ball is in. So white line certainly means in this game.
Go to the serve. Make a mess. Anush and Kushal too close for comfort now. Again on the Ahmedabad defenders choosing not to change their starting lineup. I just think it's more a psychological thing. Dakshinamurthy, the coach of the Ahmedabad defenders, I think he's thinking about what message he'll send across to his first choice players. Will they think, hang on, am I not good enough? Hang on, am I out of form? Have I lost my rhythm? In order to be able to avoid those questions creeping into his first choice players' minds, he said, just go for it. Keep playing, have fun. See what you can do, get some match practice.
Yeah, you could be right, and they have one day to rest after this before they have to play, so we have no idea what's going on in his mind, but I think better to get a bit of momentum for sure at this last stage of this match.
Yeah, they're in very different places with an extra day's rest, let's put it that way. It's not as important to get the team off as it is for the Thunderbolts.
Tactically, as they say, get your plan A right first before fretting about plan B. So he wants to make sure his plan A is in place for that big second semi-final against the Calicut Heroes day after. That's Saturday night.
I like what they're trying to do here. They're trying to play quicker, move Lander through the inside zone instead of being on the outside, and potentially just running these plays could get a few more rehearsals in for their semi-final against the Heroes.
Ooh, that was a close call for Daniel. Coming under the net, almost losing an ankle there. I think he got a bit lucky.
I have a feeling we're going to talk a lot more about Kolkata's approach in the last two sets. Come the semis, possibly the finals. It will be a talking point for sure, depending on how they do at the start of that first semi-final tomorrow.
I mean, I'm sure that everything has gone according to plan for the Thunderbolts and Alva, because Alva would have said before, if you can get this job done in 3, I will get you all off and get you rested. And what you wouldn't want to be doing is still out here in the 5th, watching Vinit Kumar get his 50th, 60th set of the evening. He's gone out there, he's gone and got his 20, 25, 30 sets, he's gone and got off and rested. It couldn't have gone any more to plan for them.
Angamothu, on the other hand, has had a forgettable day. Surely want to make amends. That man on your screen, angle man Angamothu, #1 spiker of the Ahmedabad defenders. Good serve that. Kolkata experimenting, and it's not worked so much since the time they changed the complexion of their lineup.
And this is one of the problems. So if they're keeping their starters on, David Lee still watching on with the headphones, doesn't want to listen to the noise.
He's
just
probably
wants to
listening
see
to
it.
us, isn't he, tuning in?
No, you think he's listening to us? Nah, definitely not. Absolutely not.
I have a feeling he's listening to commentary on Sony Live, and he's watching the action on court without a monitor in front of him.
Well, the only problem about keeping your starters on while the second string is on the other team, if they don't perform well and take on and win against this Kolkata squad, that's going to be really deflating for their egos.
That's a good moment. Could be a big moment. Now, Angabuttu, if he just gets going, uses the rest of this match to find his rhythm, it could all go really well for the defenders, and not so good news for the Calicut Heroes.
Absolutely. Could not have put it better myself.
What? Not Louis agreeing with Manish. Hang on a sec.
Always.
Oh, Daniel.
I think that he's got a big part to play, Daniel, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it depends on how they can pass the ball. And in those opening sets, the pass just wasn't there. And we said that they're a great team in system. Out of system, they struggle without the middles. There's double up blocks on the outside, the wings. And then that's where they will suffer.
Whoever's going to referee in that second semi-final must do at least 2 hours of meditation before the second semi-final. Imagine Sandoval on one side, Daniel Mortazeri on the other. Oof.
I might need to do it with them.
Imagine the fire. Pipe attack. Worked. And the crowd's gone quiet. But Ahmedabad want to finish this match. 3-2 is always better than 4-1.
Well, last time Calicut and Ahmedabad faced off, it was a 3-2 win to Ahmedabad, but it went to the fifth, and it was a huge performance by them. And that final stuff, if you remember, was by Daniel, and Sandoval kind of fell apart in the fifth. So I'm thinking that Ahmedabad's going to want something similar.
So I know what Ahmedabad will be doing tomorrow and day after morning. They'll watch the full rerun of that match on Sony Live.
And could do, yeah.
Also a big talking point there is that Falah has come in from Oman to replace Matt Hilling on the outside, and that brings a whole new bunch of stories our way, but we'll talk about that after the break. That is the Amol called technical timeout. We'll see you after a very short break.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Here's a look at the A23 Fantasy Leaderboard. You've got Sandoval right there at the top, Nanda coming in second, Rahul, and then Santosh and Ashwin Raj of Calicut. Good looking board. If you want to get involved, you can head over to A23 and pick your own team. Louis, who'd be on your team?
My team, good question.
Surely one of them right there.
Changes nightly. Yeah, Vinit Kumar after tonight wouldn't be far away, or Rahul certainly would be in the team as the second six look to try and get back in to this fifth set. There's so many changes. Almost everyone in the Kolkata side has been changed since they won the opening 3 sets, looking to rest some of their team before tomorrow. And what that has meant is that the first 6 or 7 from the Ahmedabad defenders have managed to get a grip on this game. Yes, they won't win it, but we're talking a lot about confidence and momentum. Manoj there maybe just taking a step forward in terms of confidence for 2 nights' time when they play against the Calicut Heroes.
Big block by him. I think he's so important for this Ahmedabad team. We talk a lot about Daniel because he's the one who gets the block and turns around and really gets his muscles showing, but Manoj is so consistent through the middle, and he just takes up so much space when he's on.
Yeah, coming into this game, it was Manoj that had scored 3 more points than Daniel, but he goes about his business in a much quieter way, and he's very, very consistent. Ahmedabad now 10-6. Talking about quietness, Angamutu has been quite quiet this evening, hasn't he? And in some games against Mumbai, 22 points. Against the Heroes 13, 12 against Kochi, but they're going to need a big performance from him to make the final against Calicut. You think they're quite good on the left side, Calicut, with Falah coming in. Apparently he's quite high, quite physical. Be an interesting matchup to see how he settles into the league.
Yeah, here again are the semi-final matchups. Kolkata taking on Bengaluru, Ahmedabad taking on Calicut. They are going to be really, really hard-fought matches, probably going down to the fifth, each of them. As a reminder, that Kolkata-Bengaluru match, that was the first match of the season that we saw way back in, when did we get here? February? 4th of Feb.
Seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
That was an interesting game in its own right, because the Torpedoes took it very close, 3-2. Eben scored 12 points in that game, and it was the first time that we saw Svetanov have an outing, and Van der Velde as well, and we will expect to see a slightly different game tomorrow, as there's been so many more matches, more scouting. Everyone knows each other so well, so I don't think that first game can show us any indication for what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and also a few more key players. I mean, we didn't see Alireza Abeluch at all pretty much throughout this whole season, and he comes in that last match and pretty much single-handedly puts Bengaluru into the semi-finals.
Yeah, the way that Dili is using his whole squad to fit the format is outstanding, bringing on passes to pass, hitters to hit. Sounds simple, but it's very complicated. With the subs rules, we're talking about Ahmedabad, and he has just battered that one.
Big swing from Ahmedabad. That is what we're used to seeing. That is what he has up his sleeve. When you saw him in the first 3 sets of this match, he did not look himself. This is what we're used to. First of all, great rundown. Congratulations to Kolkata for getting that back in play. But Angamutu had so much space to get that cross angle, and he just ripped it.
Well, I think on the serve, you can see yourself how much that ball is floating. The hard ball, that Costco ball that just seems to float through the air and makes it very difficult to get a passing platform onto it. But Sami, he's been tested this evening, that's for sure. Thunderbolt serving has meant that he's been out of system setting. Their tactical serving has meant that he's found it difficult to find certain options in certain rotations. And I think that Calicut will be watching this and maybe copying some of the tactics that we've seen from the Thunderbolts this evening.
And he's been called by some the best setter in this league. I know a lot of the players love playing with him. Daniel has a great connection with him. But if he's not firing, if he's not on, then the hitters that you have on the wings or in the middle are pretty much, their wings are clipped.
Absolutely. Oh, big swing back into the angle. Free ball's coming. Richie Sami on the backcourt. It's a free ball. Chuck to the 10 attack. Big, high swing. Zuriach has done it again. And maybe he's the perfect backup for Vinit Kumar, because he's proving that he can help carry this Thunderbolt side without the big hitters in. Imagine if Rahul was still in, if Ashmal Rai was still in, he would be a bit part player, but now he's having to step up a little bit more.
Bengaluru have their work cut out in the semi-final. Kolkata have a plethora of options to go to, all of them with a fair bit of match practice. Twice that we've seen Kolkata use their bench strength without any semblance of fear or nervousness. Ahmedabad 3 points away from winning this 5th set. Make it 3-2. Will they? It's looking increasingly likely. 13-8, 2 points away from a set win for the Ahmedabad defenders, the runners-up of last season.
Well, the fans of Kolkata have gone a little bit quiet. I wonder if, I know they expect winning every single time, but I wonder if they understand the importance of taking the starters off and letting the second string play, because you might not be able to cheer right now, but you want to be cheering tomorrow. You want to be cheering 3 days from now.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, even at this stage. The serve goes to position 1, and that's very smart from Cody Caldwell. I think the set was a little tight, and that's when you want to choose to go off the hand. You haven't got your hitting angles available to you.
You know, with such an information explosion these days for all of us, a lot of us tend to forget things easily. And
Preaching to the choir here.
I suppose that might augur well for Ahmedabad. Forget about tonight as soon as this match ends. Amnesia is good sometimes in sport.
Sorry, what did you say?
Come on, Louie, look at you, picking up the jokes.
Who are you?
Who let this guy in here?
Yeah.
Never seen him before in my life.
Kolkata certainly found their rhythm tonight as they won the first 3 sets to go top of the table. They will go to 12 points. Ahmedabad will be at 11 points at the end of the league state. Now, guess what happened last season? Ahmedabad topped the table lost the finals. Is that one way to look at things for Ahmedabad? Is there a sign from up there?
That's an interesting thought, and I don't think that's going to be on their minds. Absolutely. They don't really care where they finish. They just know that they're in the semi-finals and they get a chance to fight for the medal.
Those are the names. Now then, remember these names, Louis, if you are struggling with remembering us, our names.
I remember the names. I have no idea how any of us managed to get here, though.
Destiny.
Up the stairs.
Mr. D.G. Chaudhary, the owner. There he is, Mr. Pawan Kumar Patoria, the owner of the Kolkata Thunderbolts. He's a sit. Mr. Chaudhary sitting next to Muthuswamy Appavu's mother. Muthuswamy, of course, the captain of the Ahmedabad defenders. There's Jose Verdi. 13-11. Ahmedabad, 2 points away. Still in it. Third touch. Goes across. Muthu. Angamuthu. Now they have 3 set points to make it 3-2. The next point could possibly be the last point of the round-robin stage of Season 2 of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League, powered by A23.
Manoj does a great job of tricking Prapul there. New to the court, placing Deepesh, but that time gets schooled.
Perfect chance to get him in as well, because you think everybody else has been playing. They've had 5 or 6 weeks, as we said before about Shanti John. Great to get him in for 2 sets this evening to see what he's got in the locker for the final 4.
Cody had to push it across. Chance now to kill it. No, Suyansh. There comes Cody. Nice touch. That error, a tame end to what's been a solid performance from the Kolkata Thunderbolts. Cody stayed on court through the 5 sets. The Ahmedabad defenders camp. It's good to see them smile. I know it's been a loss, but they won the 4th and the 5th set. Thumbs up from the team owners of the Kolkata Thunderbolts as well. Ashal Rai leading the defending champions really well. Very professional display. They're already qualified. They were fighting for the top spot, and they have the top spot, and they have set up a date in the first semi-finals with the Bengaluru Torpedoes. It is going to be Kolkata versus Bengaluru. Ahmedabad, they've lost this game, but the upside of that is they get an extra day to prepare for that second semi-final against the Calicut Heroes. That's on Saturday night. David Leader, he was here throughout, made a lot of notes about their opponents in the first semi-final. Never gives away anything. David Lee, the Admiral, the coach of the Bengaluru Torpedoes. Congratulations are in order. What a game it's been for Kolkata.
Perfection for the Thunderbolts, really. Won the 3 sets comfortably. Could bring off the big hitters, rest them for tomorrow night. The question I have is, can they replicate that tomorrow against a strong serving Bengaluru side? They serve so well. Ahmedabad will have to get better against the Heroes. The Heroes will take confidence from that performance from them. There's the confirmation. The Thunderbolts win 3-2. Thunderbolts win the first 3 sets, Defenders win the last 2.
So we're going to see Kolkata in action again today. If this is your team, make sure you tune in to support them. They're playing tomorrow against Bengaluru. And on the 4th, Ahmedabad will take on Calicut. And from there, we will know who we get in the final of this month-long season. All of it has led up to that. Every single pass, set, and swing has been to get themselves in contention for the medal. So Kolkata doing a good job and a good start.
Yes, smiles galore in the Kolkata Thunderbolts camp. They've been in red-hot form through and through. Just the one loss for Kolkata.